Daniel Farke has a big problem. This is the toughest riddle of his time at Leeds United, and it's a really difficult one to solve that will be defined by and will define his ideology going forwards as a Leeds United manager. And let's be honest, getting this right can effectively decide the future of the club. So, what decision does Daniel Farke have to make? What will it mean for the playoff final? And ultimately, how is he going to come to that decision? I'll get to that in a moment, but first, subscribe. Cheers. It's one button down there. I'm aiming for 3,500 subs before the final, so that'd be massively appreciated. Diving into it, though, I believe the decision that Daniel Farke has to make is picking the right players for this match. The lineup, in my opinion, is the most crucial yet. The most crucial lineup Leeds United will pick ever, maybe? This is the most that's rested on a single match for a very, very, very long time at Leeds United. Maybe since the Derby playoff match, but even then, choosing the lineup wasn't really a question there. It was a set first 11, it's just things sort of fell apart here. And whilst normally throughout the season you'd think, this is our best side, we need to pick these players in this formation, it's different now. Daniel Farke has given himself a hell of a choice here, and it's a little bit of a weird choice. And it's two different ideologies that relatively firmly oppose each other. They stand for different things, and at the end of the day, they will likely lead to differing results. It's just which side of that conversation do we land on? And the first of these is the Norwich away leg. The Norwich away leg defined a new way of playing under Daniel Farke. It put Archie Gray into midfield, took Joel Piroe out the side, and meant we had a front line of Ruter, Nonto, Somerville, and it was effectively just a 4-3-3. It meant packing out the midfield and making sure that we held the ball, we held a little bit more control over the game, and this was just a significant increase in the amount of midfield presence that we have. Now, as a team that normally has two in midfield and a number 10, this was fantastic. It meant that we retained the ball a little bit more. It meant that we were under threat a lot less. We were preventing opposition chances significantly. And at the same time, you still nominally, at the very least, had Archie Gray playing as a number 10. But was he, is my question, because Archie Gray is someone that will drop in significantly more than Jorginho Ruter will, which meant that he wasn't playing as a 10, he was more of a box-to-box 8 sort of thing. And in my opinion, the downside of that was it limited the chances that we got ourselves. That was a very low XG game between us and Norwich at Carrow Road, and Fandabi Dozy. I will be 1 second. We're back to the other camera, if it will work. There we go. And in essence, what this meant was that with an XG of less than 1 between the two sides, it felt like no one was going to break through at any point. That game could have been played until now, and I think it would have still ended 0-0, which isn't really what you want from a playoff final. Stark contrast to that is the other game we played against Norwich, against the exact same side, and it was a completely different style of play. This saw Archie Gray shifting over to right back. It brought Joel Piroe back into the side with Ruter staying in. I think the player that dropped was Sam Byram, who had a little bit of an issue, I think, with a hip flexor or something weird like that, and we reverted back to that 4-2-3-1 shape. 4 defenders with wing backs that are happy to bomb all the way on. That was great fun to watch. 2 central midfielders that are relatively holding, trying to control the game. 3 in the attacking line. In this case, again, it was Nonto, Ruter, Somerville, but this time they had Joel Piroe in front of them, which I think had some real benefits to it in the first leg. Not the first leg, second leg. Game against Norwich at Elland Road. Because it saw a lot more vigorous attacking structures. The amount of those passing triangles we were able to form with Firpo cutting it inside to Crescencio Somerville, going on the overlap. Somerville would play it to Piroe, who would play it back to Firpo, and the number of chances we would make through that was incredible and is something that we absolutely cannot turn down. That was brilliant. That was fantastic. But there is also a drawback to this system. Whilst it was fun and it was brilliant, and we saw our team win 4-0 at home in one of the most important matches that the team will face for a long time, it does open us up at the back. Now, there is a note that Norwich City were bad, and maybe that's why we created so many chances, but they did also get one-on-one with Illan Meslier, and it was a spectacular save that stopped them from scoring that goal. No one is going to deny that. It was a fantastic stop from Illan Meslier. There's just a little bit of a concern around the fact that if Meslier isn't there, if Meslier is not able to make that stop, well, then what happens? Then it's 2-1, then Elland Road gets a little bit teetery, and once we've conceded 1 goal, are we at more of a risk of conceding more than the 1? Is that where the second, the third, maybe the fourth comes in? and things start to be problematic, as they can be against Southampton, because I believe that that Southampton side that we're going to face on Sunday will be better than the Norwich side we faced previously. So we've got a decision to make between that more forward 4-2-3-1 and the more secure 4-3-3. But ultimately, there's a question around what decides the lineup. And there's a few factors here. There is, first up, understanding Southampton, knowing the way Southampton play, and having a look myself. There's a hell of a lot of midfield play in Southampton. There's a lot of control of the middle of the pitch. There's a lot of short passing and trying to draw teams out and cleverly play their way around. And I don't know if having another man in midfield stops that, or if it just gives us more bodge in the middle of the park. That's a fun word to use. I don't know if it's the right one. Another thing that can decide things is player fitness. There is a theory, maybe, that the reason we went to a 4-2-3-1 is because Sam Byram was out, which meant that we needed to shift Archie to right back, which meant that we needed someone to come in and effectively replace him. And we went, we might as well be more aggressive now. Chuck in Peru, Ruter behind. If we've got any fitness issues, which we'll find out tomorrow during the press conference, that could hugely change the lineup. If we're going into this game and we're missing a Ruter or a Somerville, that's where the panic starts to kick in, because that is where something completely new and different needs to be done in order to solve a problem that we've not had all season. And importantly, something that will decide the lineup is trust in the squad. At the end of the day, Daniel Farke needs to decide which side of the lineup he trusts more. By going with the 4-3-3, he's showing us that he trusts that attacking lineup. He trusts the front three to create and convert enough chances to win us that game. The defence have been reinforced in that case, so there needs to be a little bit less trust in them. But the other way around, 4-2-3-1, you're putting a lot of trust in that back line. You're saying to your back line, you don't let any chances through and they will do their thing at the top of the pitch. They might not be there to support you. They will for the most part, but when they're not, can you fix it? And that's showing a lot of trust to the back line. So it depends on where the trust lies in the squad, how fit all the players are, and what we think Southampton are going to do in this match. Because Russell Martin is a manager that will change things up quite often, and we need to be ready for that. But ultimately, we have to ask, what does the lineup decide? And that is everything. It decides, do we go up? It decides our finances for the coming years. It decides what the transfer market looks like for Leeds this summer. And I want to know what you think. Let me know in the comments down below what you think Daniel Farke is going to go with in terms of his lineup. What you think is going to happen with the injury situation. Some predictions for the match ahead, because, oh boy, is it a spooky match ahead. And ultimately, whether you think this is one of the toughest riddles that Daniel Farke will have to solve. Because I'm really interested. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you aren't yet. Help me get to that target. And I will see you tomorrow to discuss that press conference. Ta-ra. I'm glad I don't have to make that decision. That's a spooky decision. Something we've not said in the post video in a while either. Put in the word dip. If you've gotten this far, dip. D-I-P. See you later.